Why on earth would a Jewish guy like David Horowitz write a book defending Christianity?
No, because I realized I'm an agnostic. I was a leader of the New Left radicals. When I saw how destructive they were, I had to reevaluate America. And I saw that America could only have been created by Christians and by Protestant Christians. We don't teach that in the schools anymore. But every value that we hold, whether it's equality, inclusion, even diversity, these are all Christian values. And the left hates them, hates Christians because they hate America. I know that Christians are focused on the next world, on saving your immortal souls. But if you don't defend your rights now, you don't defend Christianity now, you're not going to have any. There won't be churches.
David,
they will destroy them.
David, explain to me why people on the left will support same-sex marriage, they'll support transgenderism, and yet they also seem to have no problem with Islam or Sharia law, which is far harsher on these issues than Christians.
Because Islam hates America and hates the West.
Yeah, but why would liberals
the enemy of my
team
enemy.
up with these
I
people?
wrote a book actually called Unholy Alliance about this. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. That's all I care about. Why would they support Maduro in Venezuela?
Yeah, I mean,
it's
it
a
makes
monster.
no sense.
Well, it does if you see the world as a system of oppression where America, don't forget what the left believes. They believe what the Ayatollah Khomeini said. America is the great Satan and Israel is the little Satan. That explains it all.
Why would people say, let's tear it down? Why wouldn't they say, let's just get us a one-way ticket to one of those better places like Venezuela where we can go?
I actually had a plan to create a Fulbright scholarship for leftists that would send them to the country of their choice, but one way.
See, I think that makes more sense. But I'm serious. Why would they think it's better to tear down this country?
They're delusional. If you remember, I mean, we had, when our foreparents were in the Garden of Eden, it was better than socialism. The fruit fell from the trees, you didn't die, you didn't have pain. But there was one thing that you shouldn't do. The Lord had forbidden you to eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And that, it's like a diet where they say the only thing you can't eat is carrots, and that's all you want.
Trust me, I've never wanted carrots. I can tell you that.
People are ornery. That's the lesson. And what did the serpent say to Adam and Eve? If you eat of that tree, you shall be as God. Every leftist has that arrogance. They think they can remake the world. Just look at the Green New Deal that this idiot woman is proposing.
But you mean we're really going to last longer than 12 years? We're not all going to turn into toast?
If you don't get rid of gasoline cars, in 10 years the planet is going to disappear. Now, how many gasoline cars are there, you think? 300 million? 150 million owners? These owners have already decided they didn't want a Prius, they wanted a gasoline car. They're going to lose a lot of money. You couldn't get rid of gasoline cars without instituting a police state. And believe me, they will have no compunction about doing it. Don't call it socialism, it's communism. That's who they are.
David, in the book, which, by the way, right here at the top, it has this great quote by a guy named Mike Huckabee. It says, most compelling defense of Christianity. It's right there on the cover. So clearly, I've endorsed the book because I think it's fantastic. But one of the things you talk about in that book is Margaret Sanger, the founder of Planned Parenthood.
Right. She was racist.
Well, she was, but
and she
why
was
is
a communist.
Why does the left embrace her?
Margaret Sanger thought people should be bred like animals. And there were all these inferior species. And she blamed women for having unprotected sex. That's how she got the contraception. And bringing into the world defective people who, in her mind, were mainly black.
She was a blatant racist,
She was a
wasn't she?
blatant racist. But they have this delusion that they can change the world, first through contraception and then abortion. And even though I know how evil the left is, and they talk a good line, they're very seductive, but so is the serpent. I never thought I'd live to see the day when they would pass laws, the Democrats, to kill children who've already been born. This is so inhuman. And I want more. I see with the younger generation of conservatives, they tell it like it is. They call these enemies of America out. But I'd like to see other people. You know, I don't want you to put yourself in a situation which is uncomfortable for you. But we have to stand up to them and fight back. And
one of the things that you talk very eloquently about in the book Dark Agenda is the need to fight back on issues where we've lost our religious liberty. You go back and chronicle the Supreme Court decisions in the early 60s.
Yeah.
Now, at that time, you were still a leftist.
you know, it's very odd.
Yeah?
Because, I was a Jew. They said the Lord's Prayer, which is a Christian prayer in my assembly. I was fascinated. I loved the words, lead us not into temptation, but thine is the power and the glory and the kingdom. I just loved that. I was appalled when they took prayer out of the schools. Why? I didn't understand it. But it was very sinister. They wiped religion out of the schools so that public school children cannot be told that the Pilgrims were Christians. 98% of the people who settled this country and created it were Protestant Christians. 98%. But the school children, they can teach that there was a first Thanksgiving, but you can't say that the Thanksgiving was to God. You can say that the Hopi Indians pray to Mother Earth, but you can't say that Christians pray to God. This is a very sinister movement. It's been going on for 50 years or more in this country, and it has to be stopped.
David, it's always a great pleasure to visit with you. You're one of the most articulate, if not the most articulate and scholarly person I know in this country who has lived the spectrum of life in that way. Be sure to read the book, Dark Agenda. It is a sobering warning about the rising efforts to destroy America's spiritual foundation. You can get the book at Amazon or your favorite bookstore. Also, you can find out all of David Horowitz's works at horowitzfreedomcenter.org.